Our planet is continually getting warmer. Without intervention and at the rate we are going, major irreparable consequences lie ahead. A major group of scientists believe it is important to keep global warming below 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit this century to ensure a lowered risk of major irreversible negative impacts on the environment and our lives. However, as we make these changes, we need to ensure that we think about the people, habitats, and communities affected by global warming mitigation efforts. Humanity is not blameless in global warming. As we release nitrous oxide, carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor into the atmosphere, they trap the heat that is trying to leave Earth and head back out to space. The release of CO2 and other gases happens naturally, but since the Industrial Revolution, our atmospheric CO2 levels have risen 47%. When atmospheric CO2 was this high naturally, it was over the course of a 20,000 year time span, not just a 170-year time span. Since 1880, our overall global temperature has risen 2.1 degrees Fahrenheit. Each year, we lose 429 billion metric tons of polar ice. And each year, our sea level raises 3.3 millimeters. The ocean ends up absorbing a large portion of the planet's extra heat, and the rising temperature and pollution of the ocean has been found to have serious negative impacts on all of the habitats and life that call the ocean home. We gotta watch out for geoengineering. Some scientists have proposed using reflective particles in the atmosphere to reflect sunlight away from the Earth, and we just do not know how that will turn out. A major concern is what if we reflect too much sunlight, and that is irreversible. Another proposal is adding iron to the ocean to promote large scale phytoplankton blooms, which in turn will block and reflect sunlight away from the ocean. But this could potentially have huge impacts on other ocean life. Ultimately, we need to reduce the amount of greenhouse gases we are emitting into the atmosphere. Even if all emissions were stopped today, our global temperature would continue to rise for some time to come. As technology improves, we will uncover new climate protecting ideas and discoveries. At the same time, ensure that all living things are able to maintain a healthy quality of life, whether that is the humans and plants and animals on the land, the birds in the air, or the fish and coral reef in the sea. So, I hope from this presentation we can see that the planet is warming at a rapid rate, more rapidly than ever before in the history of the planet. You know, carbon emissions are natural from volcanoes, animals, other things, but our burning and using of fossil fuels has done in 170 years what naturally occurred in 20,000 years. And I found that just to be absolutely crazy. But we got to be careful about our mitigation efforts, and we have to recognize who they're going to affect and how. You know, the coal mining towns have relied on coal and the use of coal for their quality of life. You know, that funded their schools, their homes, and just everything. And those are some of the hardest hit towns now in our country. And as we move into electrical vehicle, market and those kinds of solutions, as it stands right now, not everyone can afford an electric vehicle. So when we're making policies and making these big changes, we have to keep in mind the people who are vulnerable and at risk for losing some of their quality of life. So just wanted to bring that up, that climate change and the global warming is so serious that often, I think it's like, well, let's just shut it all down and let's get this planet and better health. But because we've relied on these fossil fuels for so long, that's just not an option. So I'm very hopeful about the progress and the solutions and transitions we're putting into place now and doing. And I think as technologies continually to develop, things will continue to get better. I think I saw in the news that like Elon Musk just offered $100 million to get carbon out of the atmosphere. So there's a lot of hope. Thank you.